Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Zen Technologies Limited Q1 FY2024 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Abhishek Mehra from TIL Advisors. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Seema. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining this Q1 FY2024 earnings conference call of Zen Technologies Limited. The results and investor updates have been emailed to you and are also available on the stock exchanges. In case anyone does not have a copy of the same, please do write to us and we'll be happy to send it over to you. To take us through the results of this quarter and answer your questions, we have with us today Mr. Ashok Atluri, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Afzal Malkani, Chief Financial Officer, and Mrs. Shilpa Chaudhary, Whole-Time Director. We'll be starting the call with a brief overview of our performance, which will be followed by the Q&A session. I'd like to remind you that everything said in this call reflecting any outlook for the future, which can be construed as a forward-looking statement, must be viewed in conjunction and uncertainties that the company faces. These uncertainties and risks are included but not limited to what we mentioned in our annual reports, which you'll find on our company website. With that said, I'll now hand over the call to Mr. Atluri. Over to you, sir.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Really pleased with this quarter's performance. We have absolutely a new record for the company, and as very keenly observed by one of our team members, we have done, even the order book position has also improved significantly, and the order book today, what we have, is actually more than all the last decade's execution done till now. So that's a very big plus, and then we think that the story has just started. It's the beginning of a new phase of company's life. And this is caused by many factors. And I would like to say that, it's the external environment. Internally, the company has been always focused on R&D, has been developing a lot of IP, has been saying that, we have to build technologies that replace imported technologies. And we have also been saying one thing, that, Indian armed forces should not buy something because it's made in India or it is IP on India. They should buy because that's world's best product they are buying. And in terms of simulators, we are absolutely there. We think that we are the world's best in many categories. And that's also evident from the fact that, foreign vendors don't come to India, especially in the area where we are there. And I think we also pray that we don't go abroad into their market and compete with them, which we will eventually, but we have started in a small way and we are getting good returns. With respect to anti-drone systems also, we think that there has been a significant progress. We have got good orders in that segment, and we expect that the demand for anti-drone systems is going to increase, and based on that, that intuitive feel that we had in 2018, when we started investing in R&D, heavily investing in R&D, our aim was that 4 to 5 years we'll get a product, but the government of India pushed us, for the unique thing that they pushed us, and they said you have delivered it earlier, and we were able to make the product to their requirements, very tough requirements, and we were able to deliver. So now we are investing a lot of money in that field, and we expect that, again, our objective is the same what we have been doing in simulators, and that is to become a dominant force. We don't want anybody to buy because, Indian armed forces to buy because they're made in India or IP, Indian-owned company, but we want them to buy because we are the world's best. So in that direction, we will be investing our resources and our management bandwidth to ensure that we reach that position. Now, this is internally that the company has been doing, but externally there have been huge changes, from whether it was Make in India a few years back to Atmanirbharta. Atmanirbharta is more about intellectual property and self-reliance. Typically when you buy a car car like, Mercedes or something, even though they say make in India, there is a lot of royalty that flows back to Germany or any other country, like it could be South Korea for Hyundai. So the IP is the soul of the product. So, when Atmanirbhar came, they started focusing from just manufacturing to IP ownership, which was a big boost for companies like ours, because they started talking about Buy Indian IDDM. Buy Indian IDDM was a little earlier than Atmanirbhar. But the whole thing was they cracked the code and they said, listen, we want IP ownership. And then government announced this defense positive list. Basically, they were saying that these are the lists in which we want Indian companies to make. They had looked at the capabilities which the companies had, and we have almost more than 10 simulators in that, in which they said we will never import this product from abroad. That was a big boost to us, and they were saying that we will buy only from indigenous company, and indigenously Zen was making most of those simulators. And in a almost, kind of a godsend blessing, government in 21 September, they announced something called as a simulation framework from Ministry of Defense. The simulation framework said that, we have to move mandatorily to induct simulators into the armed forces over a given period of time. And there are a lot of benefits which we have been espousing for the last 30 years, which the simulation framework also was saying that these are the benefits of simulation. And obviously, one of the biggest advantages of simulation we see is the amount of sustainability ingredient in that, in the sense that if there was a study done by Terry, in Delhi-based NGO, very, very famous NGO. Their head also got one. They are also related to the Nobel Prize winner. And what they said was, if you buy simulators for a tank simulator, the savings over a period of 30 years is around 130 crores. So investment of a few crores can result in a savings of 130 crores over 30 years. So it's not just the environmental sense, but also financial sense. A very powerful case made. So we think that with that report, there's going to be a huge acceleration in the procurement of the simulators by the government of India. And also, even escalating geopolitical risk. What happened in Ukraine is, today they have the world's most advanced weaponry systems ever, but they're still losing war very, very significantly. The reason is that, they don't know how to operate them. They have them, but they are not being trained. So this realization that, having the latest equipment without getting trained is of no use is something that has sunk into them. And the simulator demand is going across, ballooning across all over the world, that, we need to get our guys trained. Otherwise, just buying the equipment is not enough. Some stand, the same stand that Zen has been taking for decades now. So given this, increasing geopolitical risks and especially, India's improved stature, international stature, we are being approached by various foreign countries, and they are very, very keen to buy both the anti-drone systems and simulators. So, and again, Zen has never been such a strong liquidity position, and, as on end of July, we were having about 275 crores of cash in the company. So that's a huge, whether in terms of the FDs, lean FDs, free FDs, etc. So we are in a very, very strong financial position, in a liquidity position. And I think this will really help us in executing our orders and whatever R&D plans we have. So I hope that there was a presentation uploaded on the stock exchange. You have gone through that. I really don't want to repeat what is there. I would like to, one thing about Zen shareholders and investors is they are extremely smart guys, and they really, really ask great questions. In our AGM, it's one of the things I'll always look forward to. I hope that quality will be sustained here, and I look forward to the interaction with you. With this, I would like to, start the conference with the Q&A, or please go ahead.
Thank you very much. We will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to withdraw yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We take the first question from the line of Sagar Tanna from Alchemy Ventures. Please go ahead, sir.
Hi, sir. Congratulations on a great set of numbers. Hello?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Please.
Sir, in our presentation, you mentioned that we also have export orders. Can you give us the breakup of how much is it from simulators and how much from anti-drone systems?
So, they are about, I would say, 1/4 and 3/4 cup. 3/4 would be heavy on anti-drone systems actually, and a little other recent order is, and the others are simulators.
And to which geographies do we predominantly export, sir?
So we are focusing on Middle East, Africa, and CIS countries.
Got it. And sir, is the margin profile different from what we would get in domestic versus exports?
Yeah, I think initially what we will be getting will be very high because because of the cost we build in for the future maintenance and all that. But as we go into the further years, our maintenance requirement may be a little higher than here, and the AMC that we get from them may not have as many margins. But the initial margins in the equipment sales are much higher than domestic.
Got it. And sir, my second question is on the order pipeline. You've mentioned that we already have 1,000 crore order book, including orders won in July. But what is the future pipeline look like?
So, I think that before the end of this quarter, we are going to get few more orders. Before September, we're going to get few more orders, and this order book position is going to build up further, and most of these orders are going to be domestic orders. So that is one thing. And the second thing is that overall, we see the environment that, there is a huge sense of urgency that in both the sectors where they're saying training has to be done, there is some kind of unease that, something may happen. So preparedness is predominant in their mind, and we expect a lot of simulators to be sold. And especially given the fact that, and buttressed by the fact that simulators are, mandated by a simulation framework issued by the MOD. And the second thing is that it's actually saving money, training people better, and it can be done in shorter time. Even factors like Agniveer, etc., are also pushing this thing. So given these two, and the third thing is the sustainability angle that Terry said, this is the only way armed forces can be sustainable. Usually armed forces and sustainability are not really, they look like almost oxymoronic phrase. But the fact is that, they have found that there's a way to actually save not only money but also the environment. So given these factors, we expect the simulator thing to explode in the coming years. And anti-drone systems are absolutely the given now. Everybody is talking about it's almost a shift. Like, you're fighting with swords. Now, if you don't have drones, it's like, you're not having, people are coming with guns and fighting with people who are wielding swords. So, guns will have tremendous advantage. Now, how do you have the bulletproof jackets and etc. for the guns that is anti-drone systems. The anti-drone systems are going to be very, very huge, not only on the borders, but also in the key locations, even in refineries, factories. So we expect this also to really, we were just lucky that we were at that point in time we started investing. We never imagined it would scale up so fast. But again, we always believe that, unless the company owns the IP in India, that there is no game. The game will be played by someone else. Fortunately, we were able to make it the right time, and we think that this is going to be very huge in the next few years. Anti-drone system is also going to play a very, very big part, both domestically and internationally. Sagar, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Sir, just one piece here. So this order book is to be executed over what time frame? The existing order book?
Over the next 18 months, I think most of the order will be executed, yeah.
Good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from the line of Hiral Nandu from Kalpavruksha Capital. Please go ahead.
Congratulations for the great set of number and completely turn around the situation, sir. Couple of questions are already asked by my previous participant, but still two or three more clarification I would like to understand. Will the EBITDA margin sustain what currently are over the next couple of years? I understand you mentioned some margin decline for the AMC business in the future, but broadly on the simulator and the anti-drone system, whether the margin will sustain? And secondly,
Hiral, I'll answer that question, then you can go to the next question. So I do think that the EBITDA margins are sustainable. There are two things will happen. I think one thing is because of the operating leverage, when we expand the turnover, the increase that the turnover is more, there are some benefits we get. We get more profits. And even if you were to assume that there will be some pressure or some competition coming up, or even if the pressure is there, I think we should be able to maintain the EBITDA at the current margins. So they may compensate each other, but in a very good scenario, the margins may actually increase.
On the simulator side, especially with this Agnipath Pravesh Yojana and all, what do the market size we see or opportunity size we see for next 2 to 3 years for this simulator side business?
Internally we have done some estimation. It's about 15,000 crores.
Great. Thanks. That is my couple of questions and some got already answered. Thank you.
Thank you, Hiral. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Girish Gupta, CA. Please go ahead.
Hello, I am audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Girish, you are audible. Go ahead.
Sir, I am very long-term shareholder of your company, and I remember 2 years back what you have said in your AGM, that we have to change our orbit. In the last call, I also asked whether we have
changed. Thank you so much. I am very, very grateful to you for holding the share for so long. I am really grateful. Please go ahead with your question.
Even you remember in the last phone call, I also asked about whether we change our orbit. You say you will see. So what is your answer now, today?
Okay, sorry. So we have changed the orbit, right? Or you feel we are on the same orbit?
We are in the same orbit and we can expect that we will change our orbit.
So, we very frankly, because we are so excited by the kind of things, we are actually, we think that this is just the beginning and we think there's going to be a lot of demand for what we are doing. And at this point in time, we think that the growth has just started. We do expect that we'll be changing orbit, maybe in a couple of years from this to a different level altogether.
Okay, sir. This is from my side. And another thing I will ask in the AGM.
Okay, sure. I look forward
to it. My humble request, please do the AGM by audio-video mode. Because in all over India...
No, we actually, today we had a discussion, because I like to see people on video and all that. You know how our AGMs are, they're very open and very interactive. But I have requested, so let us see how we are able to do. I think it's a face-to-face interaction is better. But noted, Girish, we will see that we'll do it video this time. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from the line of Shireen, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Ansuri. Thank you very much for the great results. My question is the market size for anti-drones. Last time you mentioned about $2 billion. Is that opportunity size increased or what's your take, sir?
So, that's the minimum size, Shireen. I think it's going to only be much, much larger than that. But we are not really, as we are talking to a lot of people, we are getting a estimate that the market size is going to increase tremendously, much more than that. And that was the Indian market size which I was referring to. And, when we add up the export market and all that, that's probably a $10 billion market at least. And so we expect that, I think at some point in time we want lot of improvements to be done in the R&D and developing the product so that we can increase the scope of sales to other countries also. So it's a huge market, growing market, and people who are actually delivering working system will be having their hands full. So yes, I think the market size is only increasing from what we gave the estimate last.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Smita Mohta from Credent InfoEdge. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for allowing me to speak. First of all, congratulations for a great set of numbers. And it's heartening to listen that the EBITDA margins will be sustainable. However, there are 2-3 questions which I wanted to ask. One is that you have reported that you have filed patents 110 and you have received 27 so far. So how many patents do you have listed till date? And how many do you feel you will be receiving within this financial year, sir?
I'm sorry, you said, we have filed about 110, 27 have been granted, and I think the rest of the patents will be granted. India takes a little longer time, but US and Europe grant within 2.5 years. So they are a little faster. Smita, I missed the second half of your question. Can you come again?
Yeah, so I wanted to know, sir, that total patents till date, how many have you received in which you feel that you will be the outstanding part compared to the other competitors?
Smita, what we do is, whenever we develop some technology, we look whether this is patentable or not. Actually, we focus on the technology and, we build some kind of awareness in the team to see whether it is patentable or not. Then we have a serious patent team that looks at that, does some prior search, etc., and then they come to a conclusion that it needs to be patented. So once we patent this, what happens is we go to the customer and we say, listen, this is patented. And typically that's a big plus for them because then they, then they can place order if typically there is a requirement of 3 vendors should be there. But when we show this patent, they put the patent into the file and they say, listen, there are no other people because the thing is patented. So that helps us get the orders very quickly in single vendor situation also, and our margins are also protected. So, it's definitely a kind of heavy competitive advantage that the patent, that the IP that we have generated, we also assert our right that we have created this IP, and by having this patent mentality of protecting our IP has helped us in getting a lot of orders against our competition.
Okay, got it, sir. So second of all, you have reported that 59.39% is your export orders for this quarter. So I just wanted to ask one question that since you say that your orders are to be completed over 18 months, so how much of it is your fixed order and how much of it can you change within 18 months?
Sorry, what can be changed within 18 months? The order is fixed. I think they have given
fixed price. I was asking about the price, sir. How many of it are fixed price orders? And how many of you how much of it can be changed? Like they are not fixed price orders because of maybe currency situation or
absolutely fixed price orders. All of them are fixed price orders.
Okay, got it.
So they're in dollars. They're in dollars. If Indian rupee becomes stronger, then probably we will lose in foreign exchange. But if Indian rupee becomes weak, we'll probably gain. But I think it's a dollar-based price.
Okay, got it. Third of all, sir, you have written about this Agnipat Pravesh Yojana. Can you specify what Yojana is this?
Sorry, you want to know about Agnipat Yojana?
Yeah. How are you related to
I'm sorry to interrupt you, ma'am. Are you on a speakerphone or a headset? If you could please switch to your handset, we are unable to hear you clearly.
Okay. So basically, I was asking about how are you connected to this Agnipat Pravesh Yojana, sir? Is it better?
it's much better, Smita, now. Smita, there is a requirement, what government has taken a call of, if a limited years of service, they want to hire some people, and, then they don't want to keep them forever because of the huge, for various reasons. So they just want to use them. And for this, they wanted, because they're only there for a limited period of time, I think 5 years, they wanted even training period to be shrunk so that their period of service is much higher. That is what Agniveer and Agnipath Yojana is. So what they wanted is to shrink the training period. They wanted some way to conduct the training in a shorter period, but without compromising on quality. So they found that the training can be done in a short period of time using simulators, and that has helped, that has accelerated the procurement of simulators from the armed forces. That's what Agnipath and Agniveer are all about.
Got it. So, sir, currently, according to your domestic and export order ratio, do you think you will focus more on the export book going ahead?
So, very frankly, we will be focusing a lot on exports. There is no doubt about that. But I think Indian market is going to be very, very strong in the coming few years. So we will be, I think, equally focused on both the opportunities, both the domestic, where, we have a lot of demand coming up and there is a lot of requirement. And then, exports will be definitely a market that we will be focusing on, especially, where the government has good relations with those countries. We will be focusing and doing exports also, because actually the government is mandating that we should, mandating in the sense, in a friendly way. They are saying, listen, we have been importers forever. Now let's become exporters and become a defense hub. So, we are completely aligned with the vision of the government, and we are trying to push for exports also. But to your question, yes, we are focused on both the things. On what are we focused more? I think we are more opportunistic in the sense that wherever the opportunity will come, we'll go after that. But currently, I feel domestic is going to be big, but export is also will also be a reasonable pie of the whole market.
Okay. So according to your manufacturing part, sir, I just wanted to know that what is your capacity utilization currently on your manufacturing of anti-drone systems?
So we are fully using the manufacturing capacity as of now, Smita. But I'll just to give you a background, what we do is we actually do the final integration at our premises. The actual manufacturing is outsourced to about 80 vendors that we have. So what we do is that they have a reasonably spare capacity to take our expansion. And again, the manufacturing part is reasonably, there is a lot of capacity in Hyderabad where, people we can give it, and of course we can go to Bangalore or Pune, where these capabilities are really deep and much, much better than us, I would say. We are very good at, making a prototype, developing a product, creating the IP, but the manufacturing part, think of Apple. Apple does all the innovation in Cupertino in US, but they get it manufactured in, maybe India or China or Taiwan. So that's what we do. We don't want to do that part which others can do better. What we do is creating great products, great simulators, great anti-drone systems, and then try to find vendors who can manufacture it for us. So I do not think manufacturing will ever be a bottleneck for us, but but this is how we are addressing it. We are going and getting new vendors if our existing vendors do not have spare capacity.
Okay. Got it, sir. Sir, so as you said that, simulator market and anti-drone market is increasing continuously. So would you want to give a number for, say, next 4 or 5 years? What kind of a revenue growth or, profitability growth are you looking at on a CAGR basis?
No, I don't want to give that number, Smita, but because internally what we are discussing is almost obscene, so I don't want to share that with you. So, but it's going to be very good. They're very good numbers, and we expect. It's a fantastic place to be in now, especially if you have developed the IP yourself, and and the customer likes your products, they endorse it. So it's going to be very good, and the growth is going to be very, 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 very good. So I'll not give a number on that, but rest be assured that we actually feel that it's going to be fantastic 3-4 years, coming 4 years. We can see it's going to be really good.
Wow, that's great, sir. So do you think that the other quarters and the next year would also inculcate the FY23 growth itself or better than that?
So, the thing is, we ourselves, we are saying, I think we already have this year's projection is going to be about 3 times the last year's growth. But, and next year is going to be definitely much double the size of the current year. So, and we expect more orders to come. And, I think the next couple of years are already taken care of. In that sense, there is going to be huge growth. And we expect very good growth in the third and fourth year also, as per our calculation. But the current year and the next year are a given, so we are not worried about them much.
Okay. So, sir, we are hearing that the agriculture sector is also using drones. So, is the agri sector also utilizing your anti-drone system for any reason?
No, they don't. So, the anti-drone system is not used in agriculture at all. I mean, unless there is a very high-profile farmer who may be attacked, he may need an anti-drone system to protect himself against something. But, anti-drone system is not used. The drones are used, of course. Agriculture, that's a huge focus by the government of India. But generally, anti-drone systems are used where the drones may come and damage something like, it could be a refinery, it could be the border crossing and throwing drugs or weapons across. So these are specific uses where misuse of drones can be prevented, because these drones, the anti-drone systems can, through radio signals, bring the thing down, or, just shoot it and, just destroy them through weapons. So that's where the anti-drone systems are used.
So are you seeing corporate orders other than the government orders, sir?
So we have got a corporate order, but our focus is mostly on the defense, but there are uses otherwise. But again, our challenge, we identify ourselves as a full supply chain, and the supply chain is completely aligned for the armed forces. But there are use cases where, people may say, we want to protect this refinery, we want to protect this nuclear installation or something, which we will do it. But we are not, the whole setup, the marketing setup is not aligned to that. The marketing setup is aligned to the defense forces in India and worldwide. When I say defense, I would include the police forces also. So, through these corporates, if they come and they ask, we are kind of responding to that. But we are not really focused on that market.
Okay, great. That's all from my side, sir. Congratulations again on the numbers, and hopefully for the best.
Thank you so much. Next question.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sarjeet Yadav, Mount Infra Finance. Please go ahead.
Outstanding numbers, sir. Now, firstly, about 10 to 12 RSPs are there in the domain, and most of them are from the fast-track procedures. So how do you see the competition there? How much percentage of these orders are you likely to get?
So I don't know where you got the 10 to 12 RSP number, but anyway, so I'll tell you about anti-drone systems. So, simulators and anti-drone systems are the two things that we deal in. And anti-drone systems, we have seen that, there is barely anybody who has invested in R&D to create their own product. With the exception of Bharat Electronics, there is nobody who's invested the money to which is required to make their own systems. Most of the people are just getting from outside and trying to push it onto the Indian armed forces. And that is actually being observed and not being liked by the Indian forces, because they say, listen, we know that it's a highly evolving field, the threats keep evolving, the drones keep evolving, and we need somebody who owns IP in India and can make software level changes and hardware level changes at the design level to tackle these threats, to tackle the evolving threats. But just imagine if you buy from a foreign guy and they say, listen, there's a new thing that is not being detected, what are you going to do? They're going to charge like hell. They're going to ask so much of money that, it may really cripple our the procurement process, because there's a lot of things to be done before you can buy. So, but for us, as an Indian company, the moment they say, listen, this is the new threat we have evolved, we sit with them, we try to evolve a new algorithm and incorporate into the system. Most of the time we don't bicker about the cost or something like that. So yes, we think that what is happening in these RFPs is that a lot of people are coming, but at the end of it, there are one or two people standing, and typically one is there in most of the cases. So yes, we expect in the RFPs that we are there, or that they're not 12, but much lesser than that, 3 or 4 of them. We expect that we may be winning most of the orders.
Okay, that's great, sir. So the question specifically was regarding the simulators. So there are large number of simulators which are there in demand for RFP, and you seem to have almost all of those products which are there given out as RFPs. So you replied regarding the counter and the anti-drone system. Anything about the competition in the simulators market?
So simulators, we don't have much competition in the simulator market. Again, the reason is that the investment in the simulator market is very little, and but there are some generic simulators like driving simulators, etc., which are used in the civilian market and domestic and the armed forces market. We have some competition there, but very specialized products like tank simulators or air defense simulator, etc., we don't have any competition. So yes, in some dual-use simulators there will be some competition, and we'll try to see, maybe we'll win some, we'll lose some. But overall, in the army simulators, I think we stand a very good chance of winning a significant part of that business.
So last question: what percentage of an order, as a ballpark figure, in a simulator can be the AMC going forward?
So let us say that, if we are doing about, whatever orders are coming from the army, they typically go in for annual maintenance contract. 100% of army orders go in, but sometimes the police are little lax, because what happens in state police is they get the funds from center for the procurement of the equipment, but for maintenance they have to give their own funds. And what happens in maintenance is that they don't, they don't have the funds, and typically maintenance is accessed. But in army, in almost all the cases, they go for annual maintenance contracts. And we expect that what you can do is you can, whatever we have executed to the armed forces, you multiply it with around 8% to 10%, and that will be the size of the thing. Suppose if we execute about 800 crores of orders, we expect going 2 years or 3 years of warranty period expired, we will get 80 crores of business from them, or maybe 70 crores of business from them.
Thank you, sir. All the best, sir.
Thank you so much, Yadav.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ankur Kumar from Alpha Capital. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, sir. Congrats for a very good set of numbers. Sir, one question is as in order book has gone up substantially and you have talked about it, but in terms of guidance, as in last quarter you were saying that we could do 400 crore this year and 35% margin, but now you are saying 3x of last year. Did I hear it right, sir?
Yeah.
So like maybe 600 crore plus this year, and on top of that you are saying next year would be double of this.
So we did about, we didn't do that. Okay, fine. Maybe about, I would say we did about 160 crores or something. So that would be about 450 crores, 480 crores kind of turnover we are expecting this year.
And next year would be double of that.
Yeah, that's our expectation, based on the orders. You will be able to judge it, Ankur, based on the order book position that we have. We have said that we'll have to execute within the next 18 months. So we expect the next 2 quarters to be very heavy in the execution. So yes, next year is also going to be very, very good growth. That will, in terms of percentage also, yeah.
Got it, sir. And sir, by EBITDA margin increase is understandable because there is an operating leverage, but our gross margin have also gone up. So can you comment on that, please?
So, depending on, this is a product combination. Some products have very, very huge gross profit margin. Some have less gross profit margin. So product mix will dictate what is the margin that we have. So if you are seeing a growth in gross profit margin, that is basically because of the product mix in which the bill of material is little less than what would be for the other products.
So on our 1,000 crore of order book, what is the gross margin on that, sir?
Yeah, I mean, we should be able to maintain this kind of margin that we have, or maybe a little less than that, but I think we should be able to maintain that. Again, to your question, one thing we do get, the one benefit we get is the large scale, when we acquire on a large scale, we get some pricing benefits also because economies of scale kick in. So we do get some pricing benefits. So the margin may increase a bit, but overall we expect them to remain the same. Or maybe a little less also, given if the inflation goes through the roof or another COVID or Ukraine war starts, we really don't know. But otherwise, I think these are maintainable margins.
Got it. And sir, could you comment please on the subsidiary part, because I see Concall was much higher last year compared to the standalone numbers?
So, what has happened is that the company is they have executed whatever orders they had from others and other customers, and they're now fully focused on our execution only, and that's why the consolidated subsidiary, the anti-drone, especially the anti-drone subsidiary, first all the transfer was to India, the Zen only. So that because of the set-off, the consolidation thing, that was eliminated. And very frankly, I expect that the way we have developed the product significantly, in the sense that the IP that we have created, very few people will be actually having that kind of technology. And what they develop for us, they sell it only to us. If they have developed for someone else, they do sell it to others. So with this kind of investment and the fast development, I think they will be, especially for anti-drone systems. If the subsidiaries develop something else and some that they sell to some other customer, that will be additional turnover, which may happen in the next couple of years. But as of now, because the anti-drone system is completely developed for Zen, and Zen is the main customer. So one part is that they have developed some other component for other anti-drone system, but that's technologically little behind. So I don't think there is much demand for that. So therefore, whatever Zen has invested in the subsidiaries for extraordinary R&D, that we are only buying from them the whole set.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankur.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Disha Jain, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Clory and the entire team. Congratulations again. My question was regarding the order book that you have, the execution of it, because as you mentioned, about 1,000 crores as of now, we are getting more orders in September and probably hopefully obscene order book in the coming years. Considering how fast the environment is changing, the different products and services that we have, do you see any challenges in the delivery aspect apart from obviously talent acquisition, different geographies, different products? Any such challenges you foresee?
So, the thing is, again, as I explained earlier, we have the supply chain that is capable of scaling themselves up, and wherever Hyderabad doesn't work, we are flexible to go to Bangalore and Pune and all that. So based on our assessment that, this execution should timely happen, and we don't see much challenges. And again, what I want to keep in mind is, when I say that, my growth is, when I say 100 crores, what I am saying is the hardware component of that is about 25 to 30 crores. And that is distributed among many people, and that the final, we don't do that part also. When it comes to us, we just integrate the whole thing. But again, you are right that we have the process and procedures and QA system, jigs, tools, etc. in place to ensure that the work being done is being monitored on a continuous basis, and the final delivery of the product to the customer happens. So yes, we are geared up for for delivery of these products, and we hope to do it in a timely manner.
Thank you very much, sir.
Next question, please.
Thank you. Before we move on to the next question, a reminder to all the participants, if you wish to ask a question, you may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. We take the next question.
Seema, very quickly, how many people are waiting in the queue?
Sir, we have 4.
Okay, very good. I think we'll be able to finish them. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We take the next question from the line of Mr. Vignesh Iyer from Sequent Investments. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, sir. Congratulations on good set of numbers and thank you for the opportunity. I just heard you out there when you said the market size for this could be around 15,000 crores in coming years. And also you're targeting a good chunk of revenue in FY24 followed by FY25. Just to get an understanding of things, if you are almost running at optimum utilization, I do understand that you've got some part where you can outsource it, but still the amount of revenue will be recognized in next few years. We would need a bigger setup, right? I mean, manufacturing facilities to execute such a large set of projects. So I just want to have a better understanding on how would we be doing any sort of capex or anything in coming times. I mean, we also have cash on books. So
yeah, so again, as I explained earlier, we are setting up the process and recruiting other people to execute the order, timely execute the orders, and we expect to be able to execute the order sometime. For capex, what we think is that capex is going to be minimal if there is going to be any capex. Again, why am I saying that? Because finally, whatever is everything, all the manufacturing is happening outside. We are just getting it into our premises for the final integration, testing, and putting in the software and making working for QA purposes. Otherwise, most of the work we want to get it done outside because we think there are a lot of capable organizations that can do capital workshops, manufacturing facilities that are outside. So what is the minimal capex that I'm talking about? Do we have enough space to have so many to it? We have an 8.5 acre plot and there is a lot of land available. So even if we take, suppose if you want to build something, we can easily build there. The facilities can be built. You don't have to buy land for that. That would be the most expensive part. And the second thing is that we can, even if some machinery has to be bought or some jigs tools have to be created for quality purpose, that would be again some capex would be involved there. But I don't think there's going to be huge capex. That's the advantage of a software dominant BOM if you have, that we don't really have to do a lot of manufacturing capacity expansion. So that way, we think we are lucky that we are in Hyderabad and there is so much of spare capacity available in and around that we don't have to really invest in this money. And again, very fairly, frankly, we think that we are not good at that. If Apple were to become a Foxconn, then what will Foxconn do? So I won't really want to become a Foxconn. I want to remain an Apple.
Right, sir. Right. So, but then if we look at the perspective of more a software side of it, would we be in need of more skilled manpower recruitment or maybe give more bonus or salary for the existing staff? So, would we see some employee expenses going up in near future?
So one thing is that, the whole company has been built on the back. Typically the 80-20 rule, the Pareto rule applies here. A few of the employees are extraordinarily important for any organization. And those organizations have stuck with us for a long time. And, very frankly, they were getting only a fraction of what they were getting any MNC or anything like that. But then their thinking is, what am I going to do working in an Amazon warehouse where I'm just, it's an underuse of their capacity. So these guys have worked where they have found soul-filling activities, where, they're creating something for the armed forces, they're serving the country in a way. So, so they have, so it's out of guilt, these guys never ask you money, so we create this ESOP plan, and we have given ESOP to many of these key employees. So we don't think that part of the guys will be going ever leaving the company, because they're very, very committed to the country rather than the company. So we think they will continue. But, but as we expand and we get into more products and, more areas, we may be having the concern. And of course, now we have started being a little aggressive in paying the salaries, given the strong financial position we are in. But I don't think it will be so high that we start damaging, because our growth is also so much that we can easily afford paying more salaries to the existing and potential recruiter than is in the company.
Okay, right, sir. Yeah, got it. And sir, all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Vignesh. Thank you very much. Next.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajesh Gupta from SBI Cap Securities. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, sir. I have a few questions. One is regarding your margin. The current quarter margin is quite on a higher side. I presume that 35 to 40% kind of EBITDA margin that you said earlier was sustainable, but this quarter was quite different from what you said earlier. So when you say the margin is sustainable at this level, you mean to say that 50% EBITDA margin will be sustainable going ahead?
No. I feel much lower. I would say around 40% or something like that.
Around 40%. And sir, since you said that there are few orders which are going to be a high margin going forward, so the net margin guided you earlier was 25%. So what kind of net margin you see going ahead?
So we are hoping that 25% we will be able to maintain 25% net margins.
Okay. And sir, regarding your market size, you said simulator market size is 50,000 crore rupees. So this market size is domestic in nature, or this also includes the overall export plus domestic both?
No. This is the estimate that we have. We have based on the discussion with for the Indian Armed Forces, especially for the products that we have. It's not for the English. For example, I've not considered flight simulators in this. It's only for the addressable market for Zen products. If the government goes on full-fledged, given the benefits and what we have seen and the simulation framework, if the government implements 100%, what the demand is, then that size is about 15,000 crores. So only for Zen products, not for the export market or for non-Zen related simulators. They are not included.
Okay, so earlier it was close to 8,000 crore rupees. Now it has enhanced to 15,000.
Yes, it has increased now. Yeah. There are two, three things. One is that the estimation has been revised. The second is the number of products that Zen has increased, and there is more demand coming up as we speak in other areas also as for the products that we are potentially developing.
Okay. And sir, regarding your anti-drone market size, $2 billion, is domestic market, or it basically also includes some elements?
Domestic market.
Okay. And sir, are you looking for any kinds of inorganic opportunity going ahead, because you have good cash on the book? So any thought on that?
So, very frankly, Rajesh, we have been looking at inorganic or acquisitions all throughout our 30 years. Only thing we have found one or two good such opportunities in the 30 years. So it is just because I have money on my balance sheet, I will not go and buy something because I have money on my balance sheet. In a case that where I cannot use the money, I'll just give it back to the shareholders. So, but we think that at this point in time, there is a huge opportunity available, and we are looking at inorganic acquisitions also little more aggressively, and because I think if we find a good fit, again, I'm not going to go into some acquisition which will increase my earnings or something like that. We will go into acquisition that makes sense, it fits properly, is in simulation. I need to know the market. I need to know who am I going to selling to. I don't want to acquire a clothes retailer just because my earnings will increase. So there are two things. One is it should be a good fit, and it should be an IT acquisition. Again, what I believe is if I just buy some company which has some product which may be bought by them, it is just an earnings acquisition. But we are talking about sustained earning power, where we buy it and there is a required sustained demand for that product over the next 15-20 years, and these guys own the IP and they can keep evolving the product. So that kind of companies are not many in the market, and so we are looking at those kind of companies, and they should be at reasonable price. If a company that makes 1 crore, they're expecting 100 crores of acquisition price, then it doesn't make sense to us. So they should be reasonable. And because this is shareholders' money, our money, so we are a little careful with that. But yes, we are looking at inorganic acquisition also, but there should be a good fit with the existing products and strategy.
Understood. And sir, one final question regarding your export order. So I guess that your export order is close to 340 crore rupees, right, sir?
Yeah, approximately, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That's all from my side. All the best.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. The
next question
is from the line of Mr. Harsh M. from Chris PMS. Please go ahead, sir.
Congratulations, sir, on good set of numbers. Wanted to just understand what is the risk do we foresee, if at all, for these orders, say to achieve the guidance? Because I think just asking questions because I have been tracking the company for long and always whatever you have committed, you've over-delivered. But just trying to understand if there could be some risk as we have been blitzscaling now. So any risk on your mind which you would, be careful of right now?
So we are, I'm worried about only one thing. If China does a blockade of Taiwan, then we are in trouble. We will not be able to execute our orders.
Got it.
But apart from that, we are reasonably comfortable, and we are also looking how do we, de-risk ourselves from a Taiwan blockade kind of situation. I don't know how much you know about Taiwan, but Taiwan makes 37% of the world's microprocessors, and if they go down, the whole world stops. And but unfortunately, the reality is, you never know how China will behave, and that is a risk that Zen Technologies is facing. Faces. That's a significant risk that we face. And so, we will have to de-risk ourselves from that. But one thing good about Zen is that, all the products are designed by in-house, and we can work around that. That's what happened when, COVID and Ukraine war came, everything disappeared. All the chips disappeared. We had to rewrite the software for the new chips. Whatever were available, we bought some samples. And then we went to the market to buy the thing. The samples disappeared from the market. We had to redesign the product 4 times. But as IP owners, we can't do that. So that the thing is there. But the fact is, if Taiwan blockade happens, it may impact our ability to deliver significantly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Got it. And any new product in the pipeline, like you just mentioned during the call? So anything apart from, say, anti-drone, are we looking at some very different vertical in near future?
No. We are not looking at any different vertical at this point in time. We are going to look at only getting deeper into electronic warfare and simulation. Simulation in the sense we are very focused on army simulation. Can we get into Navy or Air Force kind of thing? Those are the things we are looking at. So yes, there will. If we get into new products, again, it's very challenging to get into a completely new segment which we don't know. But if we go into something like, from simulation into anti-drone system, if we go into something else, again, the acquisition will be very strategic in the sense that these guys should own the IP, we understand the market. But it will be for defense market. We don't know any other market, unfortunately. Somebody said, will you go to corporate? We don't know that market at all. We are completely aligned to the defense forces market, both in India and abroad. If we acquire something that has deep capability and we can invest and make them focus on certain things, we will do it. But, it will be, again, fully aligned with what we have. We have a very deep understanding of what acquisitions will work. So it has to go through those parameters, those filters, those keys, finally to make it to our table for acquisition.
Got it. Makes sense. Perfect. Thank you so much. Best of luck.
Oh, thank you, Harsh. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ajay Surya from Nivesh I. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, congratulations, sir, on a great set of numbers. So my first question is, can you just give me a quick breakup of the 1,000 crore order book on how much is it from export and how much is from domestic, and simultaneously how much is it from anti-drone and how much is from the simulator side of business?
So offhand, I'll tell you, export will be about 340 crore. That's the order that we have, and 660 crores will be domestic. And between, I think between the 1,000 crores, it's about 400. I would say 400 crores is anti-drone systems and 600 are simulators. But I think we'll give the exact figures in some time. It will be published, so you'll know it. But this is the approximate figure I can tell offhand. Yeah.
Okay, sir. And sir, so what has been our win rate in the recent order pipeline? Like, if we have currently 1,000 crore of order book in our hands, so what has been our win rate in the last 3-4 months of the order inflow or the order pipeline which the market has thrown up?
So I didn't understand. What do you mean by run rate?
Win rate. So if, suppose for a 1,000 crore simulator order book, if 3 of the people are participating, so what has been the win rate for Zen Technologies? If you can throw some light on that.
So you mean okay? How many orders have we lost and how many we have won? You mean? Okay.
Yeah.
That is success. No, we have. I think I would say maybe about 80% success rate. Must be much higher than that, but 80% has been our success rate, I would say.
Okay, that's very great, sir. And sir, my last question would be like, currently we are participating in how much of the order pipeline as of now?
About 500 crores. Between 400 to 500 crores, yeah.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay.
The next question is from the line of Mr. Swaminathan from Indrapurush Consultancy. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Atluri. Great set of numbers. My only question, though you've answered it partially, you have 275 crores of cash. Would you consider giving a higher dividend this year to shareholders and also distributing it on a quarterly basis? Because you are going to be the biggest beneficiary, but retail investors like me who've been with you for over 15 years also deserve a share of the pie. What would be your thought on that?
So Swaminathan, my thinking is this, that, if the company cannot deploy these funds in a way that will increase the shareholder wealth, we will give it back as dividend. And, because you are a long-term shareholder, I think you, in terms of doing business in a very, very focused manner, we have delivered our goods. But we are very, very open to giving it as dividend if we are not able to deploy into some growth areas. There is no point keeping the money in fixed deposits for a long period of time. But in a couple of years, we are not able to deploy, we will give it back to the shareholders.
But will you revise your current dividend policy at the moment, or you'll wait for some time before doing that?
We will discuss it internally, Swaminathan. I got your point. I mean, as a small shareholder, a dividend is a big thing. And I mean, even, by the way, Zen actually prays at the altar of small shareholders. And we really love small shareholders because they really, really are the reason that Zen has survived for so long, because, you have been very faithful. And I lead them in all the AGMs. So yes, we have fully occupied. And to your question, will we revise the thing? Yes, we will revise. We will look at the payout policy and try to come out with something better in the next couple of quarters.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swaminathan.
We take the next question from the line of Smita Mohta from Credit Info Edge. Please go ahead.
Smita, you are never tired of asking me questions?
Yeah, just the last question, sir. I wanted to understand that due to security...
You have to talk on my handset.
I also wanted to know that due to security reasons, do you think some products of yours can face bottleneck for exports?
Yes, they can face bottleneck for exports. The thing is, the bottleneck is, basically Indian government is pushing us to export. So one of the point is the no objection certificate that government of India issues. In fact, because they are pushing us, the no objection certificate is issued. And so that is not there. But if the government at some point says, listen, you cannot supply to this country which have earlier permitted, then that becomes a bottleneck for me.
So have you faced these kinds? Have you faced, sir, these kinds of bottlenecks from the government?
No. Our problem is the other side. They are saying, why are you exporting less? Export more. So as of now, it is the other pressure we are having from them, that we are not performing well. Even though you shareholders are happy, the government is not happy with us.
Okay. And sir, any PLI scheme benefits that you are getting from the government?
So, Smita, the PLI scheme is only for drones. Anti-drone system they haven't introduced, even though we have been saying this is an anti-drone system for anti-drone system. PLI scheme for anti-drone systems are required because that is one field in which India can become absolute number one in the world. So by giving this PLI scheme, there will be more participation and more push towards developing this technology indigenously. So the government is considering at this point in time, but as of now, there is no PLI for anti-drone systems.
Okay, thank you, sir. I hope you get a PLI scheme from the government. This will help the investors a lot in your company. And thank you again for a very great set of numbers, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Smita. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for the day. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you so much, Seema, for hosting this. And I think, again, a great set of questions, very, but overall, this is my, I just want to tell as a parting statement, I want to say Zen is focused on two things as of now, simulators and anti-drone systems. I think luck has played a great role, and through extraordinary circumstances, we have reached a place in the sense that a perfect storm would be a very negative word. I don't know what is the positive word for that, but we have come to a stage where the government policies like Make in India, Atmanirbharta, positive list, buy IDDM, the sustainability efforts, and simulation framework, everything is actually kind of gathering towards, I think it's all the best wishes and, what we call sincere wishes of the shareholders, that we have come to a situation where we are actually seeing so many orders coming forth in the future, and we are ready to embrace those orders and future developments. And we see tremendous amount of growth in the next couple of years in the demand. So I would say that it's a great time to be running a business in India, and business especially which is dedicated to the Indian Armed Forces and high technology products like simulators. So thank you so much for being patient. Some of I know Girish and all those people, they have been for decades they have been shareholders for Zen. And I'm so happy, these are the kind of shareholders that we really love. And we expect that the party has just started, and, we expect great things to happen in the coming years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of Zen Technologies Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.